Get Into Geek, episode 90. We are here to start off season 5.
Yeah.
My name's Mitch. With me, the full Get Into Geek team. We got Matty.
What up?
We got Brendan.
Hello.
And we got Rhys.
Yeah, g'day guys.
We are 4 Stargate fans, 3 old school, 1 new. We're going through 1 episode per week if you're just jumping on the ship. Not a bad place to join. We're just kicking off season 5. Episode number 1, Enemies.
Hey guys, can I make an announcement?
Oh, yep.
Okay,
About
starting
time.
early.
This
All right.
is a public
Come out of the
service
closet.
announcement brought
Oh.
to you in part by Slim Shady.
Oh, God. All right, here we go.
Do I need a siren sound
Shit.
effect? It feels
Machine
like
Gun
maybe.
Kelly.
Brendan.
Over
No,
here.
no, I'm not talking about that.
Brennan,
Yes.
have you made something?
No, I haven't.
Oh,
but
okay.
It's live.
Eminem's back, guys. Eminem is back, and I'm not talking about his 11th album, Kamikaze. I'm talking about the back of this season 5 DVD case. Fucking shady. If you have the old school DVD case,
The big
season
box
5,
set.
the big box set,
That's totally it.
it's basically a Jafar that looks like Marshall Bruce Mathers III, which I thought was
Jesus.
amazing.
You looked up his Wikipedia page. Good for you.
I mean, you put some
I'm a
platinum
big
blonde
fan.
hair on him. That's pretty damn close, isn't it?
Yeah.
You give him a hot daughter.
Absolutely.
If you'd like to start a Twitter feud with Rhys, it's at the Fly Gibson.
hey, if you want to
Bring it
build
on.
me a career just to ruin it.
chuck
Please.
that on the sashels. And we'll put a do-rag on him and he's
Wow.
Oh,
Eminem.
mate.
No, so what someone needs to do is go up to Eminem and put like a Konsu Jaffa logo on his forehead in Nico
Oh, he'd let you.
and just see what
Yeah.
happens.
He's getting old now.
Well, I'd make him skyrocket his career if he did that.
That'd be Summit and Last Stand, that logo. That logo that's on his forehead would have to be from Summit and Last Stand from
Yeah.
from season 5.
We'll see, I guess. Hopefully Shady pops up later on.
Yeah.
That's slim.
Full Eminem soundtrack episode coming up sometime in the next 22 weeks. We are here to talk enemies. Before we get into our debrief of the episode, let's find out what it's all about with the official synopsis of said DVD covers and cases. Barely escaping a destructive supernova, SG-1 is surprised to learn that Teal'c also survived and is now under the mind control of the maniacal Apophis. Will SG-1 be able to rescue Teal'c from the clutches of Apophis, or will they perish trying?
Dun, dun, dun.
The ladder.
Well, someone's going to
Yeah.
perish, aren't they?
Oh, replicators. They're back.
I knew it.
Bugs.
What do you-
This is possibly the biggest bug we've seen in this episode, guys.
oh, yeah, what is it called?
He says, O'Neill says, that is a big bug.
Great writing. One of the best.
Is a big bug.
Just,
So
I
good.
mean,
Sure is, mate.
that's some award-winning writing right there, isn't it?
Well, it's all hands on deck. You look at this story: Brad Wright, Robert
Yeah.
C. Cooper, Joseph Malozzi, and Paul Mully. Teleplay by Robert C. Cooper and directed by Martin Wood.
I mean,
Yeah.
Crikey.
haven't Joe and Paul really just kicked it up a notch? They're already riding with the top 2 dudes. And they've only been in the show for a year.
Is this where RCC started feeling some, like, you could feel them behind them, like
bit of
pressure.
Yeah, the threat,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
shadows.
Replicators,
Well, I
if you will.
suppose Joe and Paul wrote Exodus, so I wonder if they maybe just did a bit of a handoff and then
Oh, yeah.
and then Brad and Robert
Carry
maybe.
I wonder what kind of in the writers' room they're throwing up ideas, and they're like, "All right, we're in a new galaxy. There's an alien ship that we've never encountered before. What could we have on it?" And Cooper's like, "Guys,
I've got one.
I've got it. Other galaxy bugs.
Other bugs, replicator bugs.
I've already got the idea.
We already know they're in the Asgard galaxy. Now they're in a different galaxy.
New galaxy. Who did?
3 galaxies.
Replicators.
Yeah.
Surprise, replicators!
Surprise.
But yeah, didn't this have everything? I mean, yeah, Apophis
Yeah,
back. Extra bloody light year, hundreds of light years away.
yeah,
Different galaxies.
different galaxy.
Bring the replicators back.
What do you reckon? Is that a bit of a cop-out when they're like, we end last season and they're like, oh, it's going to take us at full speed 125 years or whatever it was to
Yeah.
get back. And you leave that series knowing, obviously, they're going to be fine. But that's a pretty big hurdle to jump, right? And in this, it's like, oh, the replicators have just multiplied the speed of the ship. Oh, hang on, we're nearly back now. Shit, we're just coming out of light
They
speed.
can do that. They're very advanced.
They can do anything.
They can do anything.
They're my
very
heroes.
Shut up, Carter.
I think it may have been a little subtle, just like middle finger to another very popular sci-fi series that actually finished a month before this episode premiered. So while these guys are in hiatus, It's a very popular sci-fi show. Finished, had its finale.
What is it?
And the premise of that show is they were trapped 70,000 light years on the other side of the Milky Way galaxy, and it took them 7 seasons to get home. And these guys do it in about 20 minutes.
Star Trek Voyager.
Star Trek Voyager.
Box of shame.
I'll copper that's one for that.
Where is your box of shame, Matty? You haven't brought it in.
You guys were too busy fiddling with your columns and your spreadsheets the other week. I've retired it.
We're fiddling with each other's columns, thanks.
Standard.
You're retiring it.
Yeah.
Did we come to that conclusion as a team?
Well, I offered to actually read them all out during that episode, and
Let's do that.
Mitch denied it. He said I wasn't allowed to until you guys were paying attention, and then I offered, and then you guys said no. So it's retired. So
I don't think we said no.
We said don't retire the box of shame.
maybe we'll do it for Patreon or something. I'll read out and empty it out.
So going back to the DVD, I do love these menus. And you see in disc 1 this strange alien ship.
Yeah.
And we never see it again. Do you know which one I'm talking about? It's like curved, nicely curved.
Yeah,
big
like
wings.
a manta ray type kind of thing.
And I'm thinking, oh, is that the replicator one? But no, it's totally not.
It's just something that Robert C. Cooper did in his spare time.
Obviously. The replicators are taking over this ship too.
I can get another pay packet from the DVDs.
But yeah, I thought the alien ship was cool. I assume it is from an alien race, and the replicators have taken over that.
Yeah, maybe.
Surely.
Because it
It's
didn't
not,
look like a replicator ship.
It's not from Murray's race, is it?
Ooh.
Murray.
I'm just
He was from the
sorry,
Milky
not
Way.
not Murray. Martin.
Martin.
Oh,
from the Milky
right.
Way.
Point of no return.
Yeah. Good call.
Yeah. Call back.
Good callback.
Good old Marto.
I was a bit miffed, and we spoke about it at the end of last season with Exodus, the way the story was written really well, but the CGI kind of let it down with a bit of the science and stuff like that. I felt the same way in this episode. For the many, many, many years, I always thought the final shot from last season and the first shot from this season, it looks like the two Teal'c, like the normal one, and then Apophis' big giant one. It looks like they're docking. Like, it looks like it's coming in over the top and they're about to dock. But then when the replicator ship comes in, they're actually quite far apart, because then Apophis' ship starts firing at it and kind of starts firing past it at the replicator ship. So it's obviously just a relative angle thing where the fake camera has kind of panned up and it made it look like the smaller Teal'c is going into it. And I only noticed that maybe like a year or two ago when I was like, that does. And yeah, since the episode aired in like 2001, it's like I've always thought that they were docking.
Because in that shot you're talking about, the Teal'c's pretty similar to the size of Apophis' mothership. But then when the Teal'c does get closer later on in the episode, you're like, holy shit, Apophis' ship is massive.
Yeah. Well, we see that in back in Serpent's Venom as well, when you see Apophis' big mothership and then all the other sort of normal Teal'c around it. So, I was a bit disappointed with that.
Is it the same ship, this one? Or did that get blown up?
No, remember, Apophis got away. It was all the other smaller normal Teal'c blocked all the mines, and then Apophis got away in his little lobster pincer ship.
And then as soon as they said, oh, there's no life form on that ship, I'm like, oh, no. Replicators for sure.
Shizzle.
And then they get on...
And then you quickly looked at the back of the DVD cover. Oh, I know.
That's right.
Eminem wrote this.
These pieces of shit.
This is probably like... I love the replicators, but I think this is probably my least favourite use of the replicators. Like,
really?
having the replicators be the one to take Apophis down just kind of felt a little anticlimactic for me.
Yeah.
Like...
Are you saying he's dead? I don't believe you.
He's dead, baby.
I don't believe you.
He impacted...
Yeah, I mean, you saw the...
Yeah, but
into
his
a
shield
planet.
was up. His shield was up. I don't believe you. He's come alive too many times. I'm starting to believe in the force of the god of Apophis. Heed my word.
Well, that's the thing. Like, at this point, if we're meant to believe, yes, and I think about 3 Apophis deaths ago, Rhys, I was with you, and I'm like, shit, is this how early he died? Wow, okay. And then he just kept coming back. And at this point, if we're meant to believe, if this actually is his death, it's so anticlimactic.
Yeah.
Like, I think any of the other previous 3 times they've killed him would have been a nice see you later, farewell,
Like,
great death. This was nothing.
It was the level of Seth's death.
Yeah.
Jeez, I wouldn't go that far.
Absolutely.
He impacted into a planet.
Yeah,
But
after
he went
coming
out like
out
a bitch, though. He went out screaming like a bitch, hiding behind his force field.
Yeah, but he was traveling like from like light speed. All of a sudden, it's oh shit, a planet, bang! Like
Yeah.
Oh, I'm dead. What an idiot.
Yeah, it's just like they kind of did it. I think they've done it too many times. It's like they killed him off and said, "Oh, it's Sokar. Sokar's the big bad. Sokar's the big bad." And then to try and bring it back and go, "Oh, well, Apophis took out Sokar when he comes back as Naranark."
Sokar was shit because he wasn't an Unas.
Yeah.
So let's kill him off.
Does that mean all the replicators are dead as well then?
Just
On
the
that
ones
ship.
from that ship.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously they're a plague over the galaxy, but that particular ship is.
They'll be back, mate.
They'll make their way back. They've come to our galaxy twice.
We'll
We've
never
got rid of
say,
them.
and we never saw them again. Ever.
Ever. I'm surprised they didn't show up in universe, honestly.
Yeah, me too.
Target Origins, Replicators.
Yeah.
It's just Walter doing like a robotics course in university, and he makes his replicator.
And he's like, oh, shit.
It's a Meccano
And he
set. The
don't-
Nox just wave their hands over it and it comes to life.
I'm
We
just
need to get
imagining.
this out of
Sorry,
the galaxy.
now that not that it's a great idea because I've said it, but just the idea that of a Stargate spin-off just about the replicators. I've just seen Robert C. Cooper listening to our podcast. That suggestion comes up, and he rises like Michael Keaton in Batman Returns when the bat signal shines at the house. And just it's like replicators, and he looks to the window,
Yeah.
stands up, pulls the headphones out.
Did you say
Yeah.
bugs?
Except he's got his hands over his crutch because he just gave him an erection by talking about it.
No. Spin-off bugs.
Spin off bugs.
Prequel bugs.
Yeah, that's the only way this can actually get worse. And they're prequel bugs.
Jesus.
Oh, guys, I want to bring it back. Sounds of the Gate.
Oh.
For the first time
What's
in
that?
season 5.
Oh, yeah,
Look,
it's
I just
time-
googled.
Doesn't
time
you
for the
find
Get
a really
Into Geek.
bad song?
I
and
just
play it?
googled.
That's right.
Yeah, I just googled
Right.
the
Enemies.
episode enemies and find a
It's pretty
song.
broad, don't you think?
Is this going to
No,
be
it's
an Eminem
not.
song?
No, it's not.
Let me guess. It's an Eastern European.
No, I couldn't
Folk-
find one. I couldn't find one. These guys are American.
They're a folk woodwind band with a.
This is from a band called Shinedown.
Oh, I know Shinedown.
I didn't until today.
I know Shinedown.
Let's do it. It's called Enemies.
It sounds like an STI.
It should be.
Oh, damn, I got shine down again.
Bloody hell, my Shinedown.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. Headbanging. It's got
Yeah.
lyrics.
Yeah.
All out. This is wizard type song.
Yeah, bro. Just think of Apophis and Teal'c.
Apophis on bass, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Yeah.
We're enemies.
Enemies! Oh, great song. I'm a fan.
This is probably where most people know Shinedown from.
Get Into Gate podcast on
Yeah, now they do.
season 5,
You're
episode
welcome.
1.
When you fill out that survey, where did you hear about us? Other. Please describe.
At the Brendan Gibson. Never heard of it.
Really? Oh, yeah.
Maybe.
it is.
Fly from the inside.
That's not the name of this episode. It's
Yeah, but
Enemies.
it's Shinedown. It's like it's the epitome of Shinedown. It's their one song they have. That's
Yeah,
a good
never,
song.
Never.
Good
Never heard
kid.
it.
All I'm
It's from
saying out there,
the-
bands that are waiting for their big break, just name your songs after Stargate episodes.
We'll play him. We'll f***ing play him.
Play it. We'll play it.
They
Albin,
won
if you got
We don't give a
Song.
shit. We'll do it.
How about Daniel? We surrender. Don't be a pussy, Daniel.
Oh, straight up.
Like, good call. Like, the only
Yeah,
last,
what are you gonna-
last thing to do, but don't go out like a bitch.
Like, that's what I'm thinking. Like, yeah, okay, I get it. Like, you're an archaeologist. I get that you've got a little bit of experience
You're
over
scared.
the past
We
few years
understand.
with SG1. But, you know, between Salmac and Carter,
Yeah.
Jacob, like, I'm pretty sure they've got the experience to handle this.
Oh, I saw it as just Daniel just buying time. It's like, oh, we surrender. Because he knows that Apophis is like a megalomaniac and it's all about ego. So it's like, well, if we're not going to beat him in a firefight between his ship and our ship. So it's like, we surrender. He'll take us
No,
prisoner.
I get that, but I'm thinking
and then-
Salmac's known Apophis longer than Daniel's known Apophis.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
but
Apophis doesn't know Selmac.
But Apophis,
You know what I mean?
But Apophis and Daniel.
Absolutely.
You got to remember, Apophis and Daniel are wiener cousins.
Yeah.
So
Daniel's like, I banged your wife.
They share a special bond.
Yeah, right.
And Daniel's like, I banged your wife. So,
I know where your child is.
and I banged your son.
Stole
We're
your
not going to
baby.
talk about that.
Killed you. Jesus.
And by banged, we mean gave him Fruit Loops.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Blue ones.
Just bang some Fruit Loops.
Blue Fruit Loops all over him.
What I thought was weird.
He sure did.
What I thought was weird is while Selmac and Carter were doing all the work fixing the ship, you've got Daniel and Jack up on the Teal'c, rolling that tennis ball
Where'd
back
they
and
get that,
forward
by
to
the
each
way?
other. Well, here's my point. Jack still has a bleeding cut on his forehead from when he got taken prisoner.
Yeah.
They clearly don't have anything to wipe that up or tidy it up or put a patch on or anything like that. But they've got a fucking tennis ball to play around with.
It was just
Where are
on
your
set.
priorities,
Yeah,
guys?
you do this.
Where are your priorities?
Yeah, that made little to no sense to me.
Yeah.
I only just thought about it this time, and I've seen this episode 10 times.
O'Neill would have had a first aid kit. He'd just be like, it's just a cut. But
Yeah.
I guarantee you, O'Neill would have been on so many missions where he's just got bored or been prisoner somewhere. So he's just got this
Yeah.
little tennis ball. He can just chuck it against a wall, have a bit of fun with himself.
I could get a squash ball, because, you do that for forearm exercises, like Rocky.
That's not what I do.
No, what do you do? Details. Go on.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we're doing that again, are we? Okay.
No, yeah, we're not.
That's the computer.
I do have to say, though, this is probably one of my absolute favourite kind of like... I'm not a big fan of gun porn, like when it's just like, oh, making guns look cool. But that tracking, there's two shots. There's that first tracking
Yeah.
shot where Selmac comes from the ring room and he's like, where are you guys on the radio? And then he runs down, like down the corridor, meets the team as they're running from the replicators, and then runs back and they're all firing at it. And then later on in the episode, when there's just that amazing one-up, all the way to when they're all just like there with their
That's
P90s.
it, isn't it?
No, it's two different spots because that's
Oh, the one where Jack slides in is the Selmac one, right?
yeah, that's the where he
that's my
slides in
favourite
because
one.
remember they're ringing from one ship to the other.
Yep.
So yes, and the other one is there towards the end there where even Daniel is looking badass with his P90, just like laying out rounds, and they're doing that sort of
Military
that
tap
what do
and
you
go. Peel off.
tactical retreat or whatever it is where it's they're just peeling off one at a time while the other one covers fire while the other two reload. I was like, it's so good.
And it's the actors too. It's not just stunt people.
Yeah.
Like I rewound it to make sure that the Carter one wasn't stunt because it's pretty hardcore. Like
Yeah. Well, in the
those P90s
Looks easy.
are pretty crazy.
yeah, well, in the audio commentary they mentioned you can actually, if you look closely, you can see the set. You can see all like this dust and stuff coming out of it because it's all just styrofoam. The
walls.
concussion of that many P90s firing at the same time is shaking the entire styrofoam set, and you can see all this dust coming through, which I think just adds to the look of it. But they were saying because the P90s actually eject their shells downwards, they're able to do shots like that where their actors are close together firing, because most guns sort of shoot out to the side where you risk hitting the other actor in the eye or the face or something like that. So that's one of the reasons they chose
they had
the
their
P90s.
clear safety glasses
Yeah, that's the
on,
first
mate.
time I noticed that. But Jack had the cool ones.
Yeah,
Did you
well,
notice?
that was
Jack's
back
like,
in,
I'm having the cool ones.
that was back in Nemesis on Thor's ship as
Yeah.
well. They had that, and Jack has the different goggles to everyone
Yeah,
else.
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
He's the coolest.
He's cool. When what was the councilwoman from
Renal.
when they came into the SGC, it showed the
Wrench?
gate locking on,
Oh.
and the last chevron to lock was the Earth home symbol.
Yeah.
When they were
I'm just
dialing
going to do
in.
that Kermit sip.
Is that was a stuff up, right?
Nope.
What?
The last symbol to lock when the Tok'ra were dialing in.
Is our triangle Earth symbol. This goes back to our conversation from Solitudes, Brendan, about the other point of origin. Yeah, well, technically we're using the Antarctic Gate right now. So,
Yeah, I know.
yeah, but this is why it definitively proves in universe that the Antarctic Gate had the Earth point of origin symbol, the triangle with a circle above it.
No, but what
No,
Rhys
but-
is saying, it's an incoming wormhole, so
Yeah.
it shouldn't be the Earth
It wouldn't
symbol.
be the Earth symbol that they're
Because that's
dialing
not
out
the
on.
point of origin where the Tok'ra came from.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah, that argument's been put to bed, Matty.
Yeah, and it's obviously a production thing because it's the same freaking gate.
Okay, let's not go there, all right? What I'm saying is the Tok'ra wouldn't have put in the home symbol as the last
No.
symbol to dial in.
No,
Well,
that was a
maybe-
stuff up.
Oh, maybe because, like, remember when we were in New Ground, and it all lit up, and then just the wormhole came through, like there was no spinning. Ours is the only one that spins on an incoming wormhole because we don't have the DHD. We're connected up to the supercomputer. So perhaps...
Plus, the off-world gate is plastic, and it doesn't spin.
Yeah, but I'm just thinking maybe because potentially wherever Renal was dialing from doesn't even have our point of origin symbol on it. So perhaps it's just...
Wildcard.
No, it's the stand-in. So it's like there's always... whatever their point of origin symbol is, our point of origin logo comes up.
Right,
as it spins
okay.
around,
Yeah,
perhaps
that makes
as like
sense.
as a placeholder,
Like
maybe.
a wild card, you think?
No, wild card means I don't know.
But yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Because we don't have their home symbol, so it'll come up as ours as a lock.
Yeah, it just comes
It's
up
not
with
on
whatever the
gate,
point of origin.
but it is
symbol
stuff up. It is. Shouldn't
Yeah,
have
well,
happened.
because if you think about it, it's like, well, we never know where someone's dialing from, and it's like, well, if our gate does spin around like that, there should just be a camera on it, and we'd know exactly what planet is dialing us
Yeah, true.
as it comes through. So yeah, it's definitely an omission.
138.
Like I don't think our gate should spin for an incoming wormhole.
No, it shouldn't.
Yeah.
No.
Correct. Oh, the new piano score. I think this. Yeah, that's it.
Oh, brilliant.
This is it. And
Good score. Good score.
Yeah.
So,
There's a new piano score when shit gets real in Stargate, and it's very subtle. It's obviously I'm not a musician, but it's like ding ding.
Oh, please don't.
Ding ding ding. It's
that was,
pretty much spot
that was
on.
more a
Yeah,
xylophone.
that was segment 2 of Sounds of the Gate.
It's the intro.
But you will see that score, especially when either something sad happens or Jack and Sam are talking about boning each other subliminally.
It's funny,
That's not a sad thing.
It's funny you mentioned that. I actually have a bit of audio here that actually I've titled Jack Carter Sex.
Shit, yeah. Let's get this on.
Yeah, I'm hoping Jake is.
It's what I imagine. It's what I imagine it sounds like when Jack and Carter have sex.
Jack and Carter. Selmac Carter.
I really have no idea what I'm doing here.
Try it. Might get lucky.
Sir, I really hate to sound negative,
Sir.
but I think it's pretty safe to say that without a little more insight into how these things actually work, I've got pretty much zero chance of hitting.
Bit of pillow
yeah.
talk there for
Absolutely.
your drive into work. Gators.
Speaking of that, did you see the huge wrench?
Oh, yeah. Oh, I thought you meant Teal'c. No, yes. No, I didn't.
This is the same scene where you're talking about with the point of origin and the Tok'ra coming in.
Right.
And we got Martin Wood and Sylar up in the control room.
Oh, holding it.
And then when
That's
O'Neill,
Major Wood.
Major Wood and Sylar come down, and then Hammond's like, "Welcome to Earth." And they walk back into the control room, and they've moved down into the hallway, and they're just holding the massive wrench.
Just looking at
Both
it,
of
just
them.
admiring it.
Yeah,
Classic.
Now, Rhys, did you notice a little tidbit there that Renal actually gave us? She mentions that before the sun exploded, an escape pod was launched from Apophis' ship. So somebody got out. Somebody got out and somebody got away.
yeah, they telegraphed
Any-
that. Classic Cooper.
Any thoughts on perhaps who that might be?
No, I
Okay, fair enough.
no, I assumed it was Teal'c.
No,
No, Teal'c.
he was on the ship.
He was on the ship. He was on Apophis' mothership.
So while they were still in our galaxy,
You're
orbiting,
going back to last season now.
going back to the end of last episode.
Oh, right.
It was Tanith, for
Yeah,
sake,
there we go.
killing me here.
So Tanith escaped.
right.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what
I
we're
just-
getting at.
And got blew
we
up by a
just
sun.
wanted to ruin that for
No,
you.
he got away. So he got down to the planet and gated out before the sun exploded.
Yeah.
Right.
So Tanith is still out there.
Cool.
Yeah.
Do we ever see him again?
Yeah.
Thanks for ruining that for
We
me.
never see him. Yeah, we do. We totally do.
Yeah, we totally do.
In the episode 48 hours.
Yeah.
Just to ruin it further.
And it's the last time we see him. So
Oh, Jesus Christ.
But he's not dead.
no,
Or is he?
he
No.
never dies.
Yeah.
Sci-fi, NERD. Nobody ever really dies. Hey, Brendan, did you notice? Did you get a little bit of Farscape nostalgia in this episode?
Maybe.
Just that.
I could
Watched
have.
this 3 weeks ago.
Maybe.
Um,
I might have.
just that.
Depends if you want me to go along with it or not.
Just that one scene where they first alludes to the replicators that they've come on board with. There's that storage crate, and it kind of dissolves from the inside.
yes.
Reminds me
Yeah.
of those other little
The other bugs.
the ingot bugs from Farscape that they had to burn out of Moya.
Cool effect too. That one.
Yeah, it was from the
Oh,
inside
Sex from a girl. Not a big deal.
from a girl, not your wife, just a girl. That lid was made out of like polystyrene foam, and they were just spraying like
Gasoline or
metho or
something?
gasoline or something on it,
Yeah.
and it makes it sort of melt away. So it's just gold
That's
polystyrene
sick.
foam.
Yeah, that was sick.
Pretty clever.
Nice.
I like in-camera effects like that.
I was always expecting the replicator to crawl out, but I guess they didn't need to.
Yeah, it's surprising for
doesn't.
a Robert C.
Yeah.
Cooper episode not to want to telegraph it.
Yeah.
That
I was-
I guess.
When that first happened, I was like, why is Jacob doing that to the box to get out? And then I realised, oh shit, it's a replicator.
Yeah. Well, the thing I was worried about is how come Apophis had so much time to load a cargo ship with all these boxes, a sarcophagus, and his ship was being taken over. So yeah, load it up, guys.
Oh, they weren't in the storage room yet, mate.
It's crazy.
Mm.
And then brought the I forgot what
You're
those
telling the
ships
story.
are called.
What's no?
Cargo, it's a cargo ship.
Mm. Oh, the
No, his-
Teal'c.
That's it.
His ship wasn't getting taken over, was it?
Yeah, by the replicators.
No, that was a third ship. That was the replicators'
That was the alien ship.
ship
Yeah,
that they already
and
had.
remember
And then
then we
SG-1
went and
hid
hid
behind the sun.
We went and hid in the sun
because they were fighting it out.
And and then when we came out, the alien ship was destroyed and Apophis's ship was left, and we boarded it, and
Yeah.
it had been taken
And
over
that's
by
when all the
replicators.
replicators were like, run! And then did that sweet tracking shot
right.
and went back
Mm.
because they were trying to get the crystals. They never got the crystals, did they?
I think
Well, they must have.
Yeah, they did, because then they
You just
destroyed
didn't see
Apophis's big ship, but then Apophis took over. They all loaded onto the cargo ship, and then Teal'c faked it and got on board, and then we were all on the
Hatak.
Toker, like
Cronus's-
Cronus's attack.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's hard.
double
There's a lot
jeopardy.
of jumping back and forth
Jesus
between
Christ.
ships, and
yeah, it was crazy.
yeah, a
No
lot,
wonder
of,
I'm
a lot of
confused.
logistics.
A lot of
logistics.
CGI in this too. Like every single shot had
But-
CGI.
He had all that time to do that, which means he had all that time to brainwash Teal'c as well,
Yep,
which was pretty quick.
by a mule.
Like, what?
I thought you laughed because you got it.
No, I have no
I
idea.
thought you got it.
Mule.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. But yeah, the amount of time that he was tortured through the old bloody pouch poacher episode and didn't give in, and then in bloody 20 minutes, his Apophis has managed to brainwash him.
Well, we might get a little hint about what happened there next week.
Well, remember that happened to Ryak, and then all Teal'c had to do was zat him,
Yeah.
and that didn't work for Teal'c. Why not?
Well, did they zat him? They didn't zat him. They shot him.
They shot him with a P90, or they shot him in the
Yeah.
shoulder, or
I
whatever.
guess we'll find out next week.
Tune in next week.
Oh.
Tune in next week, guys.
But it's weird, isn't it? It's almost
Teal'c
like
gets shot by Zat.
we're covering
Episode's 2
And it
minutes
doesn't
long.
work.
we're covering like it's the same sort of ground as the pilot episode where you don't really see Teal'c until halfway through a little bit more. He's bad working for Apophis, and then O'Neill, rather than the pilot episode, teams up with him, and then they go back to Earth. This is caps him, takes him back to home to
Steals
fix him
him.
up, and it's like, really, we're gonna go through this again, like you said. With Pouch Poacher, we've seen him borderline, maybe he could get to that place again where he goes a little bit dark side or whatnot. But now he is. It's like, oh, do we really have to turn him away from the bad side all over again?
Yeah.
Do we need to cover this ground? We're 5 seasons in, or
Yeah.
heading into the 5th season?
It's just annoying. now.
Yeah.
No, we're going to
Yeah.
next week.
That's what I mean. Like, do
Yeah.
you end this episode going, oh, well, they'll fix this up, pre-credits next week, or we're going to have to deal with this for 5 episodes or some shit because they want to stretch some of this crap out.
Yeah,
Well,
I figured that they'd make a few episodes out of it. I would have rather have seen it as Teal'c was playing Apophis. And
Yeah.
obviously just,
Actually, that's not bad.
O'Neill said,
That's what I
what's
was
the plan?
assuming.
Yeah.
It wasn't just he's brainwashed by bugs. Like it wasn't that.
Yeah. And then, when he was still brainwashed at the end, I'm like, all right, well, they're going to do a small arc over this. But, yeah, why drag out one more episode with it? I don't know.
Yeah, I guess
they got to do 22. So
I guess Hera
They
were
can't put Carter into a computer again.
I guess Harrower mustn't have
Or
any
can they?
brainwashing technology because he couldn't brainwash him. He had to torture him the old-fashioned way.
Yeah.
So, but unfortunately for Brennan and his almighty Brad Wright, it was actually Brad Wright's idea to. They were going to the end of this episode, just between the end of this episode and the start of next week's episode, have Teal'c just be cured.
Yeah.
And get back
then
to the
Brad
status
Wright's gone,
quo.
well, you've left no room at the end here, Cooper, to finish the storyline off.
Well, no, Brad Wright was actually okay. Let's actually spend an
Let's do it.
entire episode
Yeah,
next
let's do
week deprogramming Teal'c.
Which, yeah, okay. I don't know. It depends how they go about it, I guess.
I kind of like your idea though that he was playing Apophis. That would have been fun.
Yeah, that would have been awesome.
Yeah, and then Teal'c should have capped Apophis.
See,
Yeah.
that would have been
That's
way
what
better than Bugs
It
taking
would have been
out.
a great.
Yeah, but then he would
turn
have
and a twist.
he would have been definitely dead. So
But have we?
Oh, yeah, good point.
Have we? But the thing, have we ever actually?
I don't believe he was dead.
Have we ever actually taken out Apophis ourselves? It's like
just
he was
watched him
taken out
die.
by Sokar,
Yeah.
and we watched him die there.
Yeah.
That's what happened to him.
We've let him die, sure.
Yeah, but we've
Yeah.
never
Janet's sitting there with a
actually.
needle of adrenaline ready to bring him back until it's like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I am enjoying this.
and then it's like we
Yeah.
thought he died on
Heaps of
Natu,
times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then it turns out he came back. So yeah, actually, it would be nice to have the team, have Teal'c be the one to kill him.
Yeah, it would have been-
Oh, look,
badass.
A nice
For-
full circle.
For me to believe that he's dead, I want to see his body cut up into pieces.
you didn't see that nuclear reaction on the planet. Just
Nah, I don't believe it. It's too far away. Couldn't
be
zoom
one-
in far enough.
Well, on the audio commentary, it says that his hand device didn't survive the
Yeah.
impact.
Yeah, it's because he used all the power of it surviving. He's a god. He can't die.
But even if that hand device did survive, he would have. There was no inertial dampener, so he would have just gone flat into
Yeah.
that like a pancake. He'd just be liquid inside that.
Hey, symbiote
Chuck
bring
him
him
in a
back to that.
sarcophagus, yeah.
Yeah.
the liquid in its sarcophagus.
Actually, that's not a bad point.
I wonder
If
if that could
if you liquefy a human being and pour them into a sarcophagus, what happens?
No,
What happens?
We get to season 7, he comes back.
As a cake.
And we show a flashback of like as a
Well,
pancake, and
yeah.
over like days, his remains drip into like a crack within the sarcophagus,
like
and it's just
Deadpool and
yeah.
his little legs.
Well, I'm pretty sure Teal'c came into a sarcophagus, and that's how Ryak was born.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, there we go. So we just have an
Is that
explosion.
his wife's name?
We have the sarcophagus, and there's just like a couple of droplets of blood just like drop into a sarcophagus,
Yeah.
and then it just clones him
Yeah.
from that.
I guess, yeah. Well, how much would you need of a person?
Well, ask
Like Wolverine.
Contraya! It's pretty much a sarcophagus, but you need a couple of drops of blood.
What's that?
Well, geez,
Tin Man.
Can you imagine a better robot?
I don't know. I feel like you needed the whole body, the brain.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah, thanks, Brett. I want to bring up something we spoke about earlier, and that was, I think, in Double Jeopardy or the one after. Teal'c doesn't have a tuck license. His Hatuk license.
Yeah.
But Daniel drives this freaking Hatuk.
Yeah, but Jacob told
he?
him how to do
Yeah.
it. Jacob told him how.
Like
I
throughout
thought-
that whole thing where they're like, you gotta get it out of here when we come in with the
Yeah.
cargo ship. You got to get the hell out of here so the sun or the
Oh, but
the
then
ship
Daniel
doesn't-
says, "Well, you're going to have to tell me how to do that."
Yeah.
yeah, like Teal'c doesn't know the basics.
Well, Teal'c wasn't there.
He can't use a clutch.
I can't drive stick.
No, but I mean in Double Jeopardy, Teal'c. Surely,
Yeah, but-
surely, come on, Teal'c.
Tilk wasn't there.
In Double Jeopardy, he was.
No, in this episode.
Yes, but I'm saying going back to Double Jeopardy, we were talking about Teal'c. Why didn't Teal'c drive the Hatuk?
Oh, right.
That's why they needed
Jackson
a
can
Tok'ra.
pick it up in 2 minutes.
Yeah, Jackson just learns it like neck minute.
Oh, mate, he's been digging up rocks for
Yeah.
decades.
He's being taught by someone who knows.
No, I
how
don't
to-
buy it.
He's,
Cooper.
Good bullshit.
he's being taught by. He's being taught by Selmac, someone who knows how to fly it, how to do it. And I'm sure if Selmac taught Teal'c, Teal'c would know how to do it too. Because
Braytac
eventually,
taught him.
yeah, well, eventually Teal'c and Braytac are both flying Hatuk around.
No,
so
yeah, you need a system lord to ride off on it.
yeah,
Can you sign my permission slip, please?
But if I got into a truck and someone says, give this a shot, I'd have experience because I'd driven a car before. Whereas if someone else who had just had roller skates and then they chuck him in a truck and they go, "Oh, give this a go." Like Daniel Jackson's a roller skater.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. He's definitely not a roller
Well, I
blader.
mean,
No, absolutely
Definitely not a skater
He'll
either.
have all the elbow pads and shit on as well.
He's not a grinder.
I mean, look, I don't want
Or
to.
is he?
I don't want to protect some bad writing, but maybe he just had some remnants of, when Shifu unlocked all that knowledge and put it into his brain, and he had a dream that learnt.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe, you know.
Oh,
Cooper.
Jackson's Jolinar.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. It's his version of Jolinar. Just he has a little bit of memory whenever he needs it.
I like that. Yeah.
And that
Okay, fair enough.
and that was a Robert C. Cooper episode that Absolute Power.
Yeah, I
So-
guess.
Yeah. You know what? Stargate Origins should have come to you when they said, "How do we make this work, mate?
How do we make it credible? How do we?
Yeah.
Brainwash him."
How do we?
Brainwash them and then
How do we
wipe
go-
their memory.
How do we come up with excuses for bad writing?
Yeah.
Go see High Pitch.
How do we fix this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's just copy the worst movie that George Lucas ever wrote. All right.
Sure. Hey, I did notice a little, just on the writers and directors and stuff, actually did notice an interesting pattern here for season 5. This episode is the first of 8 episodes in a row where they just go Martin Wood, Peter DeLuise, Martin Wood, Peter DeLuise, Martin Wood, Peter DeLuise.
Yeah.
Then at episode 8, they switch over and go William Garrity, Peter DeLuise, William Garrity, Peter DeLuise, up until episode 12. So that's, I think now they're really finding it's like, okay, this is the kind of show we want to make. These people are the ones that get what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
And they just start, so they've got...
And they leave Martin Wood for these big ones too now.
Yeah, typically Martin Wood gets the action-heavy kind of stuff, and then Peter DeLuise gets the more character-based.
That was cool,
and-
actually, in the commentary. Peter DeLuise is actually the B director, or the B director for the pilot. Or the B unit director.
DeLuise.
Sorry, Martin Wood. Martin Wood was the B.
For Children of the Gods?
Yeah. That's what he said in that
Oh.
in the audio commentary.
Wow, because he didn't actually direct an episode until, Solitudes, which was,
Yeah.
halfway through the season.
He got all the cutaway shit.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, which is sweet.
He had to do the apprentice work to be the master.
That's what I got out of it.
Did you notice the corridor lights in the mothership?
Nope.
The back end of a staff weapon.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of like those, the priests from the pilot. Remember they had those little
Paddles.
paddles with the lights in them, and
right,
that was the back end of the staff as well.
Just reuse then.
Yeah, and then just throw a couple of braziers with some fire when you want.
Yeah. Chuck it on.
All right, guys. I've cracked the code. Season 5,
Oh,
The Walter Diaries.
there's a lot of pages you just clicked. How many codes did you crack?
Just the one.
Just it's a big entry.
Yeah.
Big writing, big block letters.
It's like a 40
Absolutely.
font. Just
Have
like
you seen those Coke bottles that he wears on his face?
Yeah,
Wild.
it's just got it's got one of those big therapy pens, and it's just like one letter per page, and you just gotta.
Is that
Now,
little
fair
thing.
warning, guys. I kind of skimmed through this one already, and it's really, really dark. So,
right?
yeah. Anyway, let's
God,
crack
he
on.
killed-
Well, after
He
last,
killed some of those strippers, didn't he?
yeah, after his last
Not
entry,
that dark, but
Chevron
maybe
7
Maybe.
dead.
after his last entry. All right, this one's called The Walter Diaries Part 4. Wait till they get a load of me. Gate Technician's personal logs, Stargate S5.01.
That's one.
Guess who's back? Back again.
Oh,
Walter's back. Tells some airmen. Freudian slip there. It's my first day back at work today, after a lengthy hospital stay. The last time I was on duty was when Carter stupidly let that electronic entity into her body. In the hospital, when I was on a heavy dose of morphine, I had a vivid dream. I was Robin, and General Hammond was Batman. On the General's desk was a red phone, a bust of William Shakespeare, and behind him, the bookcase would slide across to reveal a wormhole. We would jump through and appear on the other side in full uniform, except General Hammond had an eggplant where his codpiece should be. Shout out to Batman fans. Anyway, I digress.
I thought that was another Eminem
No, it
reference
wasn't.
because remember when he's like Batman and Robin in that film
Yeah,
clip?
yeah.
It's
Look,
layered.
it's all layered.
Yeah.
You can go back and listen to this a
But
few times.
Batman Damned issue number 1 is out now.
Yeah.
Get it quick before they take the cock away.
Absolutely. They can't take that away from
He
me.
named it Grayson.
What do you think of this, Dick?
Check out the Nightwing.
No, I figured
It's the biggest sidekick I've ever had.
I figured his scrotum would have been called Grayson.
The mid-Volta.
Mid-Volta.
So I'm back yet again. Carter wasn't the only one that was injured from that entity attack. I suffered massive electrical burns to my hands, arms, legs, and lefticle. Carter gets a skeeve burn on her hand and everybody loses their minds. She even got the first treatment from old Doc Fraser. I waited in the infirmary for 4 hours before somebody finally came in and turned the lights off.
Still here. Wait.
And he was happy with that. Finally, someone turns the f***ing lights off. That's on. Oh, it's so stupid. It shouldn't be that funny. Been yelling out for 4 hours. Someone to turn this f***ing light. I'm trying to sleep. I've only got one testicle left. Oh, Jesus.
I went through weeks of rehabilitation and plastic surgery to get me back to my physical glory. I didn't get one visitor the whole time. Not one. I got nothing. Not even a bag of macaroons. The hours turned into days and the days into weeks. I became twisted and bitter. Who do they think they are? I'm sick of SG-1. Always butting in when nobody asked them. Why the hell were they even in that command room? Who cares about your burned hand, Carter? Silas says, come on man, she was taken over by an entity. Nah, that. I was injured way before that shit happened. Do you think I wanted to be in bed for 6 weeks? Hell no. I have personal problems too. My baby mama Chevron 1 had to take the boys full time while I was recovering. She couldn't even go to her night job. But like my dad always said, you don't have to have kids to have a wife.
Sorry, what?
It's true. It's true.
Yeah.
Does that need
Sorry, what?
Does,
That's a Matt Gibson quote.
does
though.
that need a pan flute? Or
What did Hammond do for me apart from paying all my medical bills and expenses? Nothing. Not even a thank you, not even a parking spot. But if there is one thing I took out of my hospital stay, it's you can't be a victim. So I'm going to take my own redemption. Carter, do you think it's easy being a gate technician? Do you think the gate just opens itself while you're getting ready for a mission? Do you think we just wait around just to open and close the iris for you? I'm fed up, and so are the other gate technicians. We've decided to make our own unit. And I don't mean an SG team, I mean a gangster rap group. We were going to be called the Cardigans. But that's already a name of a music band. So we've decided to take the name Tech 9. Boom.
Tech 9.
Tech as in technician, and 9 as in 9 chevrons. Motherfuckers!
I would have much rather Spaz 12.
Well, yeah, that was taken. Obviously. That's their number one
that's a
single. Tech 9.
Spaz 12 by Tech 9.
Tech 9's actually a rapper.
Spurs 12!
isn't a Tech 9 a gun as well? Isn't that why?
Yeah.
But they can't have Spaz 12 because that's taken by a gun. But they can have Tech 9, even though that's taken by even more things. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. That checks out.
Come on, mate. It's layered. We've been through this.
Part of it.
Sure.
Let's check this one out, boys. Yo, right about now, Gate Techs assemble. The members of Tech 9 are as followed. Number 1, me, a.k.a. OG Locked. Number 2, poor man Sarah Silverman, a.k.a. PMSS.
Oh, shit. Stands for?
Poor man Sarah Silverman. She's pissed, guys. She's She's really angry.
Slaying, Rick. Slaying. You just went a certain way, didn't you, there? You just went away, you know.
Number 3, Steve Urkel, a.k.a. MC Cheyenne. And, of course, number 4, Walter's dad, my dad, a.k.a. Daddy. Yeah, Carter, you better watch it, because Tech 9 are going to come to your crib, put some foil in your microwave, and unplug your toaster. And it looks...
What's unplugging the toaster?
There's some lyrics here. I don't know.
Well, he's
Pretty gangster.
Walter's just off the hook on this one.
The police, so just unplug your toaster.
He's gonna piss her off for like 3 seconds before she
Getting
works
fresh
out.
bread for you, homies.
I stole their Breville, yo.
Why isn't this toast going down?
There's some lyrics here, but they're kind of crossed off, so I might try and see if I can do it. This is called the Redemption Beef. Yo, Carter, you better back up, because Tech 9's here to mess you up. Got bars. You think you're good for the Air Force, but you a disgrace. You better watch your back or I'll close the iris on your face. Get you nut!
Dropping palms.
Get out.
I can just imagine Walter's dad as the hype man,
Yeah, Walter, you got this, boy.
just throwing signs behind him.
Holding his
Wow.
dick and shit. You know?
No, that's Pretty Boy Cumface, obviously.
Yeah, obviously.
He's dying to be part of the group.
Wow.
He's their roadie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
big time.
Jeez, Walter's an angry guy.
Oh,
Man, he's pretty pissed off about that entity thing, obviously.
Off-world activation.
Oh.
We have an off-world activation.
Get to your stations, boys.
Got my gun cocked.
Defense team, stand by.
What's happening?
Oh, Jesus.
Well, we did mention last week in the mailbag that we're gonna open up a message service for
Oh,
people
yes,
to leave
voicemail.
voicemails to get involved, and we've received our first incoming
Traveller.
wormhole, incoming traveller.
We've just received it. So it's pretty much he's recorded his own voice on his phone and emailed it to us.
I mean, don't assume it's a he. I haven't told you who it is yet,
Oh.
but it's Dan Pucci.
the secret of behind the scenes radio.
Oh no, they're on to us.
So it's interesting that the one who suggested it is the first one to
Love it.
send a voicemail
Love
through.
it.
Right.
Good old Dan Pucci. So
What do you want, Dan?
let's see what he's got to say.
Oh,
Oh, he's put his own audio in there.
All out.
That's impressive already.
This is the Origins one.
ours.
Setting a high bar here.
Hello and welcome to Get Into Dan, a Stargate voicemail for the Stargate podcast Get Into Gate. I am your host, Dan Pucci. I'm a first-time caller,
Brilliant.
a long-time listener.
Is that Ricky
Big
Gervais?
fan. Not a gentleman, but a gentleman. And today I'll be leaving you this message. Hello, chaps. It's been an absolute pleasure listening to your podcast, and I'm sure the pleasure shall continue thusly. Anyway, I wouldn't be leaving you a message if I wasn't a fan. And since we're all on that same page, we're all cool, let's get into what I've got to say. I know you spoke about continuing on with the Stargate Atlantis and Stargate Universe in the latest hairy mailbag episode. But I did also see a message
what
on
to
the
say from now
Patreon
on.
about possibly reviewing Farscape. And I did comment on that post, and I feel like I got my point across
Sure
quite
did.
precisely, I suppose is the word. But for the people that don't go on the Patreon, I just want to reiterate that my comment was, is, and shall always be, fuck Farscape.
Whoa,
I ain't
whoa!
gonna get into it.
I'm off the Pucci train.
Oh,
I'm
you
off the
faded
Pucci
out.
train.
Secondly, Stargate Atlantis and Stargate Universe. Fuck that shit also.
Wow.
Shitty imitations of SG-1, and it's not worth the time of day, let's
Jesus.
be honest.
You're losing me, Dan.
It's not worth a rub, as the kids say. It's a long, winding road.
Yes.
I know.
Yes.
The road is long. Oh, that's a different song. Well, whatever, it's shit. So, I mean, I guess what can you do to offer a suggestion there? I suppose so. I suppose if I'm going to come in that strong and offer those vocals, you've got to expect some sort of suggestion there. So, well, I've
Absolutely.
got 3 words for you.
Yep.
Star Trek. Am I right, mate?
I'm back on board
Yes.
now. I'm back on
now
board
I'm
the Dan
off.
train.
I'm off.
That was 2 words.
You got it all. You got Next Generation.
That's the
Voyager,
joke.
and Deep Space Nine. The amount of episodes you could review is just, well, not limitless, but you know, it's good. It's good. It's good. I mean, you could also, with your old paper.
So I just want to pause that. He's taken English lessons there of Donald Trump. It's not limitless, but it's good. Good. That's a Trump special.
Patreon there, you could perhaps do a bonus episode each month. Maybe review an original series episode once. I mean, that's probably not actually going to turn anyone on because that was also shit. I don't know, actually. Yeah, just review Star Trek. Let's just be honest, mate. Yeah. Anyway, I'm rambling. So, pretty sure that's all I've got to say. So I'll wrap it up here. Keep up the good work, chaps, and tune in next week for another episode of Get Into Dan. Oh, one last thing, actually. Rhys, I see a picture of you and your new wife there, and I've got to say, mate, if you don't, well, f*** it, take offence, I don't give a shit. You are batting above your average, man. And if you don't mind me saying, your wife, she is a hottie. Yeah, take it easy, guys, and I'll speak to you later, eh?
It's always fun
Brilliant.
when an Englishman tells you she's a hottie because you're like, oh, well done, sir. Thank you.
I never knew the kids from the In-Betweeners were fans of Stargate.
I want to know when the Poochie podcast is coming out.
I'll subscribe to that.
Another day in the life of Poochie. Absolutely.
I mean,
The pooch.
that's a high bar to set. I mean, he's got.
Mate.
I mean, he had his own backing music there.
I mean, keep him shorter than that.
Yeah, that could be our last mailbag because it might not get better than that.
right? I mean, that's.
Oh, mate. And
Wow.
just for your information, she's the lucky one.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I've always said that.
I told her to her face on the night you got married.
Mate, I married my stalker. I didn't even realise until our celebrant told us.
You won $1 million after buying $1 million worth of tickets.
Absolutely.
She won $1 million after buying $10 worth of tickets, mate.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
I mean, send them in, guys.
Yeah,
I'm happy
I mean-
to play them. Happy to get them on. You can be part of the podcast. The fifth member, the fifth race. You know what I'm saying? You feeling me?
the fifth man.
See what
even,
I've done.
maybe, you know?
I like it.
You know? Seems
It's an upcoming one.
Unless you're a woman.
Yeah, it's timely. Well, no, it's 2 episodes' time is the fifth man, so
Yeah.
it's timely.
They
Right.
should have got with the times, ahead of the times.
Yeah, the
That's
fifth
all I'm saying.
person would have been nice.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Carter's a member of SG1. She can be the fifth man as well.
Oh, look at it.
good
Written
call.
by men, directed by men. What a
Yeah.
surprise.
And men.
Oh.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right, that's episode 90 of Get Into Gate. We'll be back next week to talk about episode 2 of season 5 in Threshold. Threshold, I love that word. And we'll find
Especially
out.
in that accent.
Oh, thank you. I don't even know
Sexy.
what that was. I just had him Poochie on. I just feel like because for a second there I thought it was
Another
Maddie doing
compliment
a
on
voice.
accent. That's great. Well done, guys.
Well, it's his
On a
real
good one.
accent. I mean,
No, I was talking about Rhys complimenting your accent.
oh,
The majority of people here do a really good accent.
It's fine.
I'm sure you do. I'm sure you do a good accent.
Yeah, it's
Fine. No, it's fine.
You do a good Australian accent. like a cobber one, like low pitch.
That's not me, mate.
No, I know,
It's a
but
whole
you.
nother person.
I've heard you.
you've pretended
Mimic
to
him.
be. Yeah.
Oh, when I do my impersonation of low
Yeah.
pitch.
Yeah.
Right.
It's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
perfect, but it's
Oh yeah, we're
pretty-
closeted gay guy. Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I see what
Yeah,
you're going
yeah,
for when
yeah,
you do
yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a bit like him, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll be back next week to talk about Threshold. Written
Yeah.
by Mr. Peter DeLuise, written by Mr. Brad Wright. So good things we can expect from those
Absolutely.
guys. In the meantime, you can jump on board our podcasting services, wherever you might find your podcasts. Just search Get Into Gate, a Stargate podcast. Find us on the socials, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Subscribe,
Yeah.
like, follow us, all that sort of gear.
And look, don't be an enemy. And
Yeah.
jump on Patreon.
if you don't want to be enemies with us, jump on to patreon.com/getintogate.
and we do have a few people who decided not to be our enemies and to jump onto Patreon. So we wanted
great
to welcome
people.
a few of our new patrons. Bradley Corbett.
Brad
Corbo.
Corbstar.
Oh,
Everyone gets a
Wait a
nickname.
second. What's Holly from Lonnie's new last name?
You'd be correct.
Oh, but
It's
no,
Tim.
she married Tim. She didn't
Yeah.
marry a Brad.
No.
Oh, just revealing personal information on.
She's put it on Twitter. It's fine.
Fair call.
We also want to welcome Caesar. Just Caesar. Eight strong together.
Hail.
Yeah, good call.
Yeah. Jacob Patterson.
Love your salad.
Welcome.
Jacob.
Sees his own dressing.
And I,
Pato.
and I think purely because Rhys managed to get his name right last week, which nobody apparently ever does, is Russell.
Oh, Rusty.
Russell,
What is it, Matty?
go to
Rhys
Javi.
doesn't have it in front of me.
Go to
Yeah, I don't.
go
Yeah.
to Javi.
Got the Yavi.
There you go.
Oh, good accent.
Yeah.
Nailed it. Your wife is very lucky with a tongue like that, mate. So welcome
Oh, not bloody wrong.
Yeah, especially if you keep saying threshold during
Yes.
cunnilingus.
Wow.
I'm like, oh, what code words are you going to cunnilingus? No, he's not thinking
No,
of
it's
anything.
going
Okay.
straight there. So welcome to those to our new patrons, and also a special shout out to Kenneth Pricer as well, who's gone above and
Hey.
beyond with
You
his
big
with his
dog.
contributions. Thank you very much, buddy. We really appreciate it.
Legend.
It's keeping the lights on here, mate. Thank you very much for helping
Absolutely.
us.
It costs $1 billion to keep these lights on.
All right. Myself, Mitch_Lewis on Twitter and Instagram with Socks and Gate. Matty, where you at?
At low pitch, no, at high pitch, at high pitch, Maddie on Twitter and Instagram.
Brendan
I'm at the Bren Gibson.
and Rhys.
I'm at the Flying Gibson.
We'll see you back here next week. Same bad time, same bad channel to talk more Stargate here on Get Into Gate.
It feels so empty without me.
GetIntoGeek.com.